As far as I'm concerned, Sales Navigator is the one thing that makes LinkedIn the most powerful B2B lead generation and marketing tool on the market available today. Hey, how's it going? Ryan Caswell here from b2bleads.com, lead gen, marketing and sales strategies for business to business businesses. Lots of businesses there. And today I have a really exciting episode because we're going to go into the nuts and bolts of using LinkedIn's Sales Navigator to find new leads on the platform with extreme accuracy. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator is one of the premium subscriptions on LinkedIn and gives you some really powerful search functionality around finding your ideal prospect. And I want to get into how to use it and how to obviously find your ideal clients. All right, so when it comes to using Sales Navigator, there's really two key ways that you need to think about how you want to go about finding your audience. Now, Sales Navigator can be inherently super simple, and it can also get ridiculously complex with all these different rules around finding your ideal prospect. The two key ways you need to think about how you want to find your prospect is, am I finding someone based on the company and the type of company and very specific details around the type of company and industry that they work in? Or am I finding someone specifically around their title? Or is it some combination of the two? So it's essentially, you've got to think about it as the type of company or the type of professional. And there's two ways to find people. So we'll start with finding the professional themselves. So if you have a look at my screen, you'll see this is what Sales Navigator looks like. It kind of looks like a separate website to LinkedIn. And you have this, once you get into the search here, you have these different ways you can search for people. So let's just start with something closer to home. 11 million results for people in Australia. So you can search for, you can have a look through these, you can see all the different ways to filter, search for people in Australia, relationships. So first degree are people you're connected to. So if you're looking to generate leads, primarily you're going to be looking to connect with people you aren't connected to yet, unless you want to reach out to people you are already connected to, which is an effective strategy, but generally limited for people who don't have big networks. Then you've got things like the type of company, industry, company headcount, seniority level, things like that. Now, the most important thing to focus on is I never tend to use things like function or seniority level, very rarely, because I find that tends to be how LinkedIn more or less decides where they sit seniority level wise and function. And the best indicator of someone's seniority level or function is generally in their title. So the most powerful feature, I think, in LinkedIn is this ability to do what's called a Boolean search on title. And it lets you set very specific rules around people's titles. So if we do, for instance, we want to look for owners, and we can even select the industry someone works in. So let's say civil engineering, why not? We can now target all the people who call themselves owners within civil engineering. Now, the way the title function works is it actually looks for the word owner as a keyword within that person's title. So if someone calls themselves a business owner, small business owner, all these different combinations are included in it. So you don't have to write small business owner, and owner, because owner will pick up all of them. Now, a really cool feature is you might want to exclude certain terms. So let's say you don't want to talk to consultants. Put consultant in there, and then you see this little cross here. You can actually exclude consultants from the search. So it won't pick up anyone who has a combination of owner and consultant, only people with owner in their title. So really cool, really powerful stuff. And you can get really funky with what's called Boolean rules or Boolean searches here. So for instance, if I wanted to find someone with, let's say, let's use a very specific example, general manager and owner, I could do a rule like put them in double quotation, general manager. And what that does is it means it looks for that exact match. Otherwise, if I don't put it in double quotes, it'll look for people with manager and general in it in any specific order. Whereas this says, I specifically want to look for general manager in this exact phrasing. And then I could say, and owner. Because this is just owner on its own, I don't need to put in double quotations, and I get rid of that because otherwise this will just basically render that redundant. And now it's bringing up owner and general manager. Sometimes you get where it looks like the rule isn't working, but if you actually dive into their profile further, you'll see that they have more than one current position, and it usually combines them. Sometimes this can be a bit frustrating, but it's pretty rare, and for the most part, the LinkedIn search is really powerful. Now you can get super funky with these things and do some pretty crazy rules. So I'll just quickly, for example, like you can write some pretty cool rules here around finding specific types of professionals in, say, digital marketing. HR is a really good example. They got a lot of really interesting titles. And you can see I'm reusing this director, head of, chief, GM, general manager, manager, managing, president, partner, and VP to find all the specific decision makers around a certain term, say marketing, digital, customer experience, CX, and so on. And HR is a very good example of there's lots of different titles in the industry, and that gives you a good way to target very specific people without going too broad and saying things like manager, which is going to bring so many irrelevant people in. And then you can do some really cool not things. So L not. I've got these saved as, this won't work for you. I've got these saved as shortcodes. So a lot of my clients want to exclude other consultants, advisors, and recruiters, recruiting, training, coaching, things like that. And we can do that here, exclude all those people to make our list a lot tighter. You can do things like company headcount, company as well. Now, and then you can just save that list, doing that there. Now, if you want to find people based more around the company, what you need to do is do an account search. So you might look for, I want to look for specifically civil engineering companies in Australia that deal with, what's a good example? Let's say staffing and recruiting, and we want to look for a keyword, construction. So we want to look for recruiters that specialize in construction. So we're looking in the industry, staffing and recruiting. We're looking for a keyword construction in the company description on their page, and that gives us all these results. Now you can't obviously reach out to a company specifically, but what you can do is select the companies from this page, view the current employees. It spits out all the companies here. And then you can do the same thing again and look for those specific titles. So let's say owner, Australia. And now we've got all the owners for those specific companies. It's again, really cool stuff. Now, if you wanted to do a combination of the two, what you can do is, let's do a brand new search. Let's say you wanted to target people in Australia who have a company. So we're looking at small health and safety consultancy. So you might just put the word safety in and small headcount. And you'll find all the small businesses, likely consultancies, that have safety in the title, and it gives you a whole bunch of things there. Now you might want to exclude certain industries, like if you're looking for HSE, health and safety consultancies, you may want to exclude health and wellness industry, as it could bring in irrelevant results, but it gives you a lot of power there as well. So that's it for today. I hope that's been helpful. As you can see, Sales Navigator can become quite a bit of a beast, and some searches can be super simple and super effective, whilst others need to be quite complex with a number of different rules. But if you are trying to find someone quite specific or a general sort of customer avatar, please leave a comment below. I'll be happy to include some rules that I've used. I've searched for pretty much everyone on this planet. So if you're looking for a specific search and some rules to use in Sales Navigator, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to include some of the searches I've done in the past, and that should really help you out. Thanks again. Have a good day. Cheers. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. With your support, with your likes, with your subscriptions, I know that we can get this channel all the way up to a whopping 100 whole subscribers, and who knows, possibly even beyond that. So if you see some value in the content I'm putting out and you want to see more of it, please feel free to like, subscribe, you know the drill.